We have wings again! Okay, granted they're not mine, but should we go to the end and go and get some? Because Lazy's been so kind to rent me his. Let's go! So I think after getting 3 elytras, I'm going to call that quits. I'm quite happy to run away. The end is not for me. Well, I mean, first things first, I forgot to bring a bow with me. Thought I came prepared, but no bow. You see this guy just out here teasing me. And I just really don't want to lose my gear after last episode. So I'm going to pack everything up. And we will say bon voyage to the end. You have been my friend. Well, that's one way to start an episode, with a trip to the end. Welcome back to Autocraft Season 4 with me, Tom B92. And, well, we have a lot to get through today. And first up, we should probably make the most of those elytras that we got. I send Lazy his one back, and I think the other one may well be in need by someone on the server. Other than that, well, we have big plans because I am absolutely fed up of all of this, and I've kind of lost the way of storing, and we have just stuff everywhere, so we need a storage system. Lazy did us the favor of lending us those wings so we could get more, so I think we should repay him with diamond block. I think it's only courteous. You know, he did not need to lend us those wings. I don't think I would have if I'd have known me. I'm also going to leave him a diamond block. He said, I'll pay it. If I break it, I'll pay for it. But we're nice today. There we go. Wings returned with interest. Then after heading over to Lazy's, we went over to Jinx, who had been struggling in the ender, and we managed to give her a new pair of wings, which she greatly appreciated. And well, she's shown me around some of these new 1.20 features that we haven't really got to play with. And she had the sniffers, who seemed to take a fondness to me and wanted to smell me. I didn't know if I needed to have a shower or if I smelled beautiful. But she did also leave us with one of the new flower seeds that we'll have to try and get advantage of. Back over towards our mega base area, you may have noticed we've done a lot of clearing out, and when I say a lot, I mean a lot. And the reason why, well, I don't quite know where I want to start. I know this whole area, which is a dark forest, and for context, this is what it is now, and well, this was what it was before. There's a lot of clearing out we've done, a lot of dark oak, a lot of mushrooms, and yeah, we don't really know where the center is. I think where I'm stood now is probably going to be where our center is, so our center makes sense, so we'll put our storage area here. And while we haven't really spoken about what our build style is going to be this season, we are going to be building modern, and we are going to be building a city. So that's why I've cleared out so much space. And well, I intend on building all the way, and that way, because yeah, I want to make a nice organized city build in this area. And why did we choose a dark oak? Why did I create myself more work? Well, here's the thing, like this seed is incredibly mountainous. Like, just for, let's just fly over this way. Just look how hilly it is and how high the Y levels already are around here. And there would probably been more clearing out to do to try and get a good flat area by taking down mountains. So I thought the easiest method, well, is probably to take down a forest. And I have to say, and a big thank you to Agro, who spent a whole stream clearing out some of that dark oak. And well, let's finish clearing it off and get building that storage system. So guess who had some project creep? Yep, this guy. You can probably tell from looking around me, I've done a lot more than I set out to. And well, yeah, I've not only cleared out the area, I've then gone and flattened it and relayed it, even heading over this way. I found this quite cool. This is like over the river, got different tones of grass. But anyway, we have absolute tons of materials now that I need to just get into a storage, because look how much dark oak we have. This is just some of it. I think my stats, we have chopped nearly 40,000 dark oak. That is absolutely crazy. I've done almost 30,000 dirt as well. This is only episode 4. Like, what are going to be my stats come the end of the world? Because I have a feeling we're going to need to expand upon what I've already cleared out, because our town and our city is going to be massive. So let's go and get that build done. Let's get the storage system in place. We've cleared out a little bit more land just here. This was the center block, by the way, that we said we were going to be using for our center, so you can really just compare just how much we've cleared out. And I guess this is a note to anyone on Autocraft: if you want some more dark oak and you want to help a guy out, yeah, just go clear out that way, and I'll be forever appreciative, and I'm sure we can come to some sort of payment as well. Right, storage room, let's get it done. It's not going to be a time lapse because redstone doesn't really come across very well in time lapse. So here we have it. The storage room is complete and organized. So this is Rapscallion's Moony Miz multi-item sorter V5. So if any of you are familiar with my content, I built version 4.2 in the last series of Autocraft, and this is the lag friendlier version that they have been working on. And I have to tell you what, I think it may be a little bit quicker and a little bit more stable than 4.2. The redstone on this is less complicated because there's less reliance on barrels and composters to have certain redstone outputs. These are the only composters in the whole circuit, and they just lock the hopper set and the dropper set here, letting things in. So every item here is categorized. As you can see, this is my customization here, and I had to make a note on the side here just so I knew that where the slices feed into the chests, because that's the only thing that may look a little odd here. So if I start up here, this is where slice A is. So starting down at the bottom here, I have a shulker unloader, which is looking a bit untidy because I've been putting all my items into the system. But we have this shulker unloader here, which then goes into this item gate, and this item gate is absolutely key to this system. So there's a small little filter on this, and it will only accept one item. So everything you start loading through will go into this chest, and this item gate will pull through all of that one item and load it into the system. Rather than take item 1, then item 2, and then item 3, it will take item 1, and if item 1 is in position 10 of this chest, then it continues to take that item. Then got a little dropper clock, runs through into a dropper tower before heading through the system and through the dropper system that is built into here. So what happens with an item is it will go down this left hand side first, it will then circle round and start heading back this way. So if it doesn't meet any of my filters that are in this section, it then heads through this dropper set over here and heads over to the second side. And so in a similar fashion, it will go through the left side first, back round, going through this right side here, before then going into this chest here, which are my unsorted items. So what does an item filter actually look like in this system? Well, over here where we've got our bulk items, we just have cobblestone, and all of these items are named items that won't run through your system. That is important. These items cannot go through your system, otherwise it will break. Equally here with this item hopper down here, there's another item filter, and this is a different item, a different name to what is in the chest above. So when the items start flowing through the system, it will take one of these and pass it down, and it will keep doing that whilst this is open and still remains unlocked. So when you get into those items that you want more of, so we've got here my stone variations, it just works the same. You just take out however many blocker items you have that you want to put in, and it's important you put 2 in for each of the items that you want, and that's all that happens as it goes through. It's really quite simple when you get the hang of it. I mean, if you're going to be brutally honest, you don't even have to really know how the redstone works, so long as you know how it is all meant to be put together, which I guess is a great advantage of Litematica. The very far part here is the overflow, so whilst this isn't really geared towards being bulk storage, it can cope with it. So I know I'm very stacked up on dark oak, having cleared out the forest around here. So if I started to fill up too much dark oak, rather than overload the system and break all the redstone, it'll follow this hopper line round the outside, miss all the droppers, and it will go through into that overflow at the very end there, which is a really cool feature. So what I've done is add all my categories at the bottom here, and you can see it does look a little confusing because you'd think you'd put your bulk first, but as I said, because this goes into slice A, we want really all of our bulk items to go and get processed first, rather than go through the whole system and make things slower in getting through. So all my bulk stuff is in this left slice here, and then lesser items will go through here. But what that means is on the front side here is that those slice A go into the right side, so they go into the even chest. Slice B goes into the odd chest, being 1, 3, 5. And yeah, you can see I've got my categories. I've got my dirt variations, my dirt, cobble and cobble, stone, etc., cobble. Then this is the odd one that looks out of place because again it's in the middle of those A and B slices. So we've got tuff and the geode stuff in there, sand, gravel. Then we get into the variations of the other blocks, nether, and then all the woods. Then coming down this end, we've managed to continue categorizing, and we've got a terracotta, we've got plants and dyes, concrete, brick, wool, prismarine, which is pretty barren, quartz and dripstone, mud, deep dark, end. Then we've got some coral, we've got some mushrooms, some moss, some leaves. Then this is where it gets a little tricky because, well, how do I put passive drops without putting an item frame, which I think I'm going to have to. It's the only really way I can think of putting a marker in the ground for that. And then same with mob heads, we've had to put one on the surface, so just to keep that aligned. So we've got farming items, we've got what I have categorized as decorative, so the stuff that I'm going to get more of, but they're not really regular building blocks. We've got mob drops, mob heads, and ice. And these are my uncategorized items, so I've still got room for expansion, which is great about this system. I can, you know, if new blocks come through into the game whilst we're still in this world, I can add and categorize, or if I want to refine anything further, you know, I might want to break down my ores some more. That is the great thing about this system, and that is the great thing about this episode, is that I'm so happy I've got my storage in place. I can't tell you how happy I am. All my chests have been emptied around the world and put into this system, and I now know where everything is, and it's all in here. And well, I'm going to make sure I leave a link to this storage system. The only thing that I've added to it, I say, is the shulker unloader, which I found invaluable for an SMP. I really hope you've enjoyed this episode. It's been a bit more technical minded than most of my episodes normally, so hopefully that's gone down well. If you have enjoyed it, remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you all next time.